All right, guys, how's it going? This is Rob Cray here with another Geeksation Live Podcast. And this week we've got some of the usual cohorts here. Dustin, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Good, good. Gil, or Dakota, sorry. Right off the bat, I did it. Damn it.
Hello.
Was it Oha? Is that what
Yeah, Oha. There you go. No.
But so this week we're going to be talking E3, which is, of course, coming next week. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about this podcast. Obviously, I think all gamers get really excited when it comes to E3 time. So what about you guys? I mean, is there any games in particular? Like, what one game that's been confirmed so far are you guys most excited about?
Well, out of the list of confirmed games, I'm going to pick one that's maybe a little bit out of left field, but I'm going to say Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Okay, cool.
That's not a bad one.
That's always a series that it's not one I think about a whole lot, when I'm thinking about my dream game, but it's always a game that I enjoy. Like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was amazing. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is like one of my all-time favorite games. So I'm curious to see how it works with like next-gen graphics, and there's some interesting characters that have been confirmed, like Ultron and
Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon, Mega Man X, Chris Redfield. So should be pretty awesome, I think.
You've always been a big fan of those fighting games, man.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm like so terrible at them, but
oh, really?
I love like the 2D like Capcom style fighting games. I was never really that big into like the 3D ones, but
yeah. See, I've always been horrible at fighting games, so I can never even beat a Mortal Kombat game. That's how bad I am. Like, I can probably get like halfway through, and then it just gets too hard, and I'm like, all right. Dakota, what about you, man? What game are you really excited about?
It's totally hard because I'm like tied on 2. What if I had to pick? It's probably State of Decay 2
Cool.
from Microsoft Studios.
Yeah, that one looks good. That's coming out for Xbox, right? Also, it's PC and Xbox.
Yeah, PC and Xbox.
Since I'm now a part of the Master Race, I might.
Yeah.
Congrats, bro. I'm proud of you, man.
So this is a little off topic, but after our podcast a few weeks ago, PC versus console, I decided to finally join the Master Race. So Dustin and Lebo Dakota convinced me. So I guess they won that. They won that debate. But sorry for interrupting, Dakota. What were you saying?
Well, State of Decay 2, the reason I'm excited about that one is if you played State of Decay on the Xbox Arcade, it was probably the best survival or zombie survival game.
It's cool.
But State of Decay 2 is going to have co-op.
Nice.
So not even co-op with PvP too. So you're going to have groups of your friends versus groups of other people trying to survive in that same area. So it looks like BA. So I kind of want to see it.
When does that come out?
I don't know. They haven't released to my knowledge, they haven't done a release date.
Is that going to be on PC as well, or is it going to be?
It's
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be on PC as well.
Game nights.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly. I think even Bond can get on that one.
So I'll let you guys have a guess at what mine is.
Splatoon 2.
Booyah. Yes.
Yeah. I was going to say Splatoon or Mario Odyssey, maybe.
Yeah. So hyped for Splatoon.
Are you sure it ain't Project Cars 2, Rob?
Huh?
Are you sure it ain't Project Cars?
Not a big fan of racing games, but unless they're really arcadey, But I don't like, racing sims per se. But I'm really excited for Splatoon. Oh my gosh. You guys have no idea. Like that. The Wii U was such an underrated console, and that was one of the best. That was actually one of the first franchises that Nintendo's come out with, like new franchises or IPs for a long time, and it's just so much fun. I mean, if you like shooters, it's just Nintendo has this great way of taking other genres that you don't typically associate with being kind of like family friendly, and then especially like shooters. Like, who would have ever thought that someone would make a family friendly shooter? But sure enough, Nintendo managed to pull it off, and it's just a ton of fun.
Or at least make a good family-friendly shooter. I mean, there was like Noah's Ark 3D on the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that was a shooter.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But yeah, so I'm super hyped for Splatoon, and of course that Pro controller that's coming out with it. Oh my god, can't wait! I was told Beth, I was like, you can have my old Pro controller because I'm getting the Splatoon one.
Me, on the other hand, I've never really liked Splatoon.
How can you say that if you've never played it?
I have played it.
You have?
Yeah.
Where'd you play it?
When I was living in Derby, when I had the Wii U.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang, man. I can't believe you didn't like it. That game's so much fun.
It was okay, but I mean, I didn't see the magic behind it. It was just like another shooter to me.
I don't know. It's just something about that game. I guess it kind of harkens back to like, I don't know, it's just like classic Nintendo, really. You know what I mean? Like there's just something, it's so simple, so fun, but it's also deep at the same time,
Yeah, by all means, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just not my favorite game. I'm glad that it's a new IP from Nintendo. That's great.
Yeah.
Keep that stuff up.
Well, it's kind of like what Nintendo did with like Smash Brothers. Take like a complicated genre like fighting games and make it accessible, but also deep.
Extremely deep. Yeah. Exactly. But so E3 obviously starts June 13th through the 15th. So that's Tuesday through Thursday, I believe. And I believe Microsoft has their press conference first, right? Do you guys know the dates for that stuff? I think it's I looked up before the show, and this is what I have, is that Microsoft's press conference is Sunday at 2 p.m. Obviously, we'll come back to Microsoft. I'm going to talk Sony first. But Sony, their press conference is going to be at 6 p.m. Pacific on June 12th. And then Nintendo's going to have some kind of presentation, I believe, also on June 12th. And that's in the morning. Looks like I didn't put the time, but I believe it was like 9 in the morning. So I could be mistaken on that. You guys might want to double check that.
I'm looking at it right now. EA's is at 11:30. Microsoft's at 1:30. Bethesda's at 8:30, and then the next day I would assume it's Ubisoft, then Sony, then Nintendo rounds it out. So Nintendo is having a press conference.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks like it's on Tuesday actually.
Yeah, Tuesday. It's on Tuesday, the 12th. Sony's is at 6 p.m. and then Nintendo's, what time is theirs? I think 9.
8:30 a.m.
Okay, so I was close. But the Nintendo's also going to have a Treehouse live stream, which is going to be all that day, the entire day. But let's start off with Sony. So what, obviously, Sony's got a lot of really good third-party studios that we haven't heard from for a while, especially like Sucker Punch. I think, there's a lot of rumors that Sucker Punch is going to reveal a new game. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be a new Infamous? Do you think it's going to be like some kind of new IP?
I mean, Infamous would be pretty good, but I would hope for a new IP because I'm just looking for new stuff. I want new IPs to come because I'm kind of getting burnt out on the
I agree. Old bug. Yeah, I think this generation, I think we kind of, I was actually planning to kind of talk about this for like a whole podcast at some point, but I guess I can just say real quickly that I just feel like this generation so far hasn't been very good as far as like, new IPs and stuff. Like I think last gen was amazing. There were so many new IPs coming out and just so many great games. And so far this generation, all we've really got are a lot of sequels.
I mean, if we're talking Sony for new IPs, I think Days Gone looks like a really good one.
Yeah.
There was another one from Detroit. I can't remember what it's called. Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, games like that were pretty good.
Detroit Become Human is Quantic
Dream.
Yeah, Quantic Dream. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think we talked about this in another podcast. I'm not really a huge fan of their style of games. Like, I'm not a big fan of that kind of like choose your own adventure style game,
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I like that they definitely push the graphical envelope. I mean, their games are absolutely beautiful.
That's no joke.
Media Molecule has a new game, I guess called Dreams. I don't really know much about that, but I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a Little Big Planet type game.
I'm looking down the list and I'm seeing
like probably the Sony game I'm most looking forward to is God of War. That looks pretty amazing.
Yeah, I like the new direction.
So that's like a complete reboot, essentially, right? Like it's going for like Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one looks pretty
That's
good.
definitely interesting. I haven't really played much of the God of War series. I have to admit, I played like the first two, and they were cool, but I haven't really got into the newer ones. I know, Bon, I think you pretty much played them all, right?
Yes, there's a new Uncharted too.
Yeah, I think it's like a DLC though. It's kind of like an extended DLC. It's like, it's not technically a new game, like a full new game, but it's like kind of like a spin-off, I guess, of Uncharted. It doesn't have Nathan Drake, which is kind of interesting.
I didn't mean to cut you off there. Continue that.
Oh, it doesn't have Nathan Drake. That's kind of the big thing with that. That's going to be interesting, you know. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else is big. You mentioned Days Gone. That's probably the game that I'm most hyped for at this point. Well, other than The Last of Us 2. But but you know, as far as like new IPs coming from Sony, that's the one I'm probably most excited about. It looks pretty awesome. I mean, do you see how many freaking monsters or zombies or whatever the heck they are on screen at one time?
It reminds me of World War Z.
Yeah, it does. It looks crazy.
Last of Us, since we brought that up, that one's gonna smash.
I guarantee that's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be amazing. Did you played that? Dustin, did you ever play The Last of Us? Dustin? We might have lost him. But yeah, that game just fantastic. I mean, Naughty Dog just like knocked it out of the park with that one.
Yeah. I don't think that.
You there, Dustin?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You're back.
I think my mic disconnected or something.
Did you ever play The Last of Us?
No, I never did. I know that had really good reviews, but like since I've been PC exclusive for a while, there's a few I've missed out on, and that's one that I actually would like to try out one of these days.
That game's a console seller. Right there.
Not just that. It's like a modern classic.
Yeah, that's up there. That game's up there with The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Uncharted. Which Uncharted am I thinking of? I can't remember them. I don't remember which one.
Uncharted 4 is the latest.
Yeah, maybe. Whichever one. I don't remember which one was like the praised one because I don't.
All of them, I think, have pretty much been praised. The entire Uncharted series. I mean, anything that's Naughty Dog is basically, you know. Perfection. But
I wonder if Sony's going to do anything interesting with like the VR, because I think that's kind of like one of their big selling points.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that was actually on my list of things to talk about. You know, Sony has a bad habit of you know, bringing out these peripherals that they don't support. And, you know, during the last generation, like, I don't know what their problem is. Like, I don't know why Sony does this, but it's not just with peripherals, it's with games too, where they have these amazing, like, first-party studios that are pumping out these fantastic games. And Sony just doesn't put the kind of support behind them that they deserve. Like last gen, for example, you know, Twisted Metal and Warhawk and Starhawk were, you know, three of my favorite games that came out last gen, if not three of my favorite games of all time. And Sony just didn't put any kind of real like commercial support behind them. And they just never really took off. And it really was a travesty. Now, of course, the PlayStation PS Move, do you remember that thing, you know, to compete with the Wii, it came out and it was really good. Like I thought that the Move controllers were like far superior to the Wii controllers, and Sony just didn't put any real effort behind that product, and so it died quickly, you know. And unfortunately, it seems like they're doing the same thing now with the PSVR, where, you know, the PSVR is a fantastic piece of technology, but the problem is that Sony just isn't really pumping out enough games for it, you know. And so I really hope that at E3 we're going to see some support from Sony and hopefully some announcements for some new games, because maybe even a price drop. That would be great, because, you know, at $500 it's still kind of steep for most gamers, but I think if they, you know, if they could eventually get that price down to about $300, I think that thing would sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, I mean it's still outselling though. I mean, it sells pretty well. I just price drop would totally help with that. I mean, it sells better than the PC version. Is
it selling better than Oculus?
I don't know about Oculus, but Vive, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really neat. I mean, I got one when it first came out, and I ended up taking it back just because, I just really wanted to play with it, more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really impressed with it, honestly. It's so immersive. I don't know if either one of you have ever, done VR, but it is, it's like a childhood dream come to life.
I messed around with what's that game called? Star Citizen in VR at PAX South.
Oh yeah. I bet that was amazing.
Away. Yeah, it blew me away. So it does. Did you ever play Resident Evil 7? I know you had that.
No, I didn't play I wanted to play the demo because at the time the game wasn't out yet, but the demo was out. I played a lot of the games that were on like the what is it called? PlayStation VR Worlds.
Yeah.
The game, and that was really neat. Especially the one where you go underwater in like a shark cage and there's like a big shark swimming around you. That one's scary. The best experience though was Eve Valkyrie. I was just blown away. I mean, it was like you look around and you're like looking inside the cockpit of this spaceship, right? And you can literally like look all the way completely around you and then see ships flying past and stuff. So that game was fantastic. Of course, the problem with the PSVR is that, the PlayStation hardware is kind of limited as far as power. So, I can only imagine what, say Eve Valkyrie looks like on an Oculus Rift with a really powerful PC.
Yeah.
Because it looked really good on PSVR.
Oh, yeah.
But I really hope that they put some support behind that because it really is cool technology. And I would like to see them continue to develop that, because I really think that VR is the future. But at this point, kind of the problem with VR is that it's still expensive,
Right.
I think, $500 to $600 is a little too pricey for the average consumer. But
yeah, I mean, like the VR aspect of the PS4, I think is like really the only thing that feels really next gen,
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's something they could get the price down and get some good software, I mean, they could really move some systems for them.
Yeah, they had that new game that just came out recently. What was it called? I don't know. It was like a space shooter game, and it had like the special like gun controller and stuff for it. I can't remember exactly what it's called. Like something High Point, I think is what it was called. Something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember exactly what the name.
But yeah, I've been wanting to try that because it looks pretty neat. And then of course they had that the gun peripheral that came with the game, and basically it's like they modeled it specifically for that game. So like when you're holding it in the game, it really matches with what you see on screen. So that's pretty cool. But I really hope that they throw some support behind that and don't let it go the way of like a lot of their other peripherals. It blows my mind. Like I said with Twisted Metal, it was a fantastic game, and like no one played it. It was so underrated because they didn't do really any kind of promotion for it. I just don't.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they made a Twisted Metal game for the last gen. That's crazy.
And it was amazing. It was like, if you ever get like a chance to play a PS3, you would love it because I know you grew up loving Twisted Metal.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was, it had its flaws. Like, with Twisted Metal, traditionally you would have like all this playable characters with storylines and stuff. It basically only had a couple of playable characters, like Sweet Tooth, the preacher guy, and then that girl with the mask. I can't remember her name.
Oh, so was it like in the Twisted Metal Black universe?
Kind of, yeah. It was a reboot essentially.
Huh.
Like a complete reboot. But it had some flaws as far as like that, but like gameplay was on point, man. But so let's see. The other thing that there's some rumors about, and I don't believe this personally, is that Sony might announce some kind of new portable PlayStation device. Now, considering how the Vita flopped, I'm not sure if we'll ever see another PlayStation portable, sadly.
Speaking of the new console announcements, if we're going that route, Scorpio's supposed to.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that, but we're focused on Sony right now. But it's I don't think that's going to happen. Sadly, I think that Sony I don't think Sony's going to ever release another portable. I would like to see them release another portable because, I thought the Vita actually, we just were talking about Sony not putting support behind their products, and that was a prime example.
Yeah.
They didn't release any games for it, so it was dead in the water, and it hardly got any kind of support. But from what I did play I had a buddy who had a PS Vita, and I played some shooters and stuff on it. I mean, it was, pretty close to like console quality as far as like graphics. I would say it wasn't like PS4 quality, but I would say it was PS3 quality, as far as like gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, like all of Sony's handhelds always were kind of surprising how close they were to the current gen technology-wise. Like I never had a Vita, but I have a lot of fond memories of my PSP.
Yeah, the PSP was amazing.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I mean, the PS Vita, the PSP was actually the only console, I think, or a handheld console that ever really put up any kind of fight against Nintendo.
Yeah,
so, I mean, in a long history of companies that have tried.
Yeah, I mean, you maybe say Atari Gear put up maybe a brief fight, but yeah, I mean, PSP came the closest to actually challenging Nintendo.
Yeah, it's too bad. I really would like to see, but I think, the climate, the gaming climate has changed so much that I don't even see like Nintendo really having, I guess, too much of a future in handhelds, just because like the way things are going. I mean, the Switch is kind of like the perfect evolution of their handheld and consoles into one system, which is why I think it's going to do well. But like, think about, do you really think kids in the next, 10, 20 years are going to want to be lugging around a device just for gaming? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like with smartphones, I mean, it totally changes things.
Yep.
Which is too bad because I hate playing games on smartphones.
Oh, yeah, me too. I never will. I'm sorry. I'm a purist.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if there are some young people that hate that too.
Yeah.
I mean, there might still be some market for something like a DS kind of system. And, for younger kids too, because I mean, there are probably like moms that wouldn't trust their kid with like a expensive smartphone, but might trust them with, a $100 DS or something.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of disagree with that altogether. I don't think their handheld market's going to change at all. Because if you go to any like massive gathering of like geeks and nerds, everyone has a fucking DS. Oh, my language. Everyone has a DS. Everyone is using their street passes. I mean, maybe it'll turn into the Switch, but that's still technically a handheld market. Will they start making a smaller Switch that can go out with them, or will they make a different version of the DS? Who knows?
Yeah, that is kind of the one flaw I will say with the Switch, is that the screen it's actually a pretty good size screen. Like if you ever like hold one, you're like, wow, the screen is like really nice. I'm not sure the exact dimensions of it.
It's just not very durable though.
But it's not made for like sticking in your back pocket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to have like a dedicated case for it and stuff.
From what I saw, isn't the glass on it? It's not even glass. It's like a plastic.
Yeah, plastic. Yeah.
It's not even a Gorilla Glass, so you can't take it out like a smartphone.
Just the other day, someone dropped a Switch from 1,000 feet from a drone, and it survived. So I would say they're pretty. Yeah, I posted that to the Geeksation Facebook page.
Yeah.
Some guy used a drone, took a Switch 1,000 feet up in the air, and then dropped it into a parking lot, and it actually survived and worked.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, but they're pretty durable. But I mean, you could definitely take it with you, and of course you can get screen protectors and stuff. But yeah, I do agree. I wish Nintendo would have put like a glass screen on it as opposed to a plastic screen.
I know that was a cut costing maneuver.
Yeah. But I mean, really, still for $300, you're getting an amazing device. Like it's powerful. It's more powerful than any handheld that's ever been produced by a long shot. I mean, it's even like, leaps and bounds over the Vita.
Are we still on Sony? Or
yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm kind of getting off topic, but so yeah, we're as far as Sony stuff. Also, one thing that I think we're gonna see is probably a PS4 Slim and a PS Pro price drop. I think we're gonna have to see that at this point. I mean, the PS4 Slim is $249.99, and the Pro is $399, I believe. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw, a $50 price drop. announced. If not now, it's definitely going to happen by Christmas, during the holiday season, which is amazing, for a PS4 and I'll tell you another reason why I think that's going to happen is because this week they have the PS Slim 1 terabyte bundles, including the gold one for $249 when they're normally $299. So that kind of hints at the fact that they're probably going to be changing the price of the 1 terabyte to $249, which would mean that the 500 gigabyte then would be $199 probably.
So what are the chances, like out of 100, on a range of 0 to 100, what are the chances that we'll see a PS5?
Oh yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that was the next topic.
I'm on point tonight.
Yeah, man. I kind of have a usually I don't go with a list of stuff that I talk about, but since there's so much to talk about, I kind of have a list here. But PlayStation 5, there's a rumor that Sony may reveal the PS5 since, obviously Microsoft is going to be revealing the Scorpio. Do I think that's going to happen? No. I don't think that's going to happen. I think at this point, the PS4 is selling so well. I mean, they're just dominating everybody. It's on track to be the best-selling PlayStation console of all time, potentially. I mean, it's outselling the PS3 at this point, and it could very well, outsell the PS2 in the future. So I don't think we're going to see a PS5 reveal this year, maybe next year, because, next year would be the 5-year anniversary, the 5th anniversary of the PS4 release. And usually console generations tend to last about 5 years. But it's interesting because, this console generation, obviously we had these kind of stopgap consoles, which, the PS4 Pro, and then of course the Scorpio. So that'd be interesting. Can you imagine if next year that Sony announces a brand new PS5 and then, Microsoft just a year prior had released Scorpio? That would be interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you have to think it would give Sony like a pretty big advantage.
Yeah. I mean, they'd have to come out the console and completely blow the Scorpio out of the water as far as specs. And evidently the Scorpio is pretty powerful. So, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen this year. I highly doubt it. If it happened, that would be amazing. But also, Sony tends to reveal those things in private. They don't usually reveal consoles at E3. They tend to reveal them earlier in the year at like their own events, So maybe they might, maybe they'll mention something like that. But
tease something.
Yeah, like next year.
Yeah.
But that would be cool. I mean, one thing that I don't know, have we talked about this in a podcast yet about the underpowered, how we feel like this gen was kind of underpowered? Did we talk about that? Yeah. So I definitely feel like the consoles this generation were a little underpowered compared to stuff that we get in the past. So, and that's why I think obviously we're getting these stopgaps is because they did kind of rush these consoles.
I have remind me once we get on Scorpio to bring up a subject because I have a subject about power with that one. But
yeah, we'll be coming to that really soon. So we talked about God of War.
They might be announcing some changes to PSN.
Yeah.
And digital marketplace stuff, I would assume.
I wish they would just say, hey guys, we're not charging you for PlayStation Network anymore. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was like a big selling point when they didn't do that back in the PS3 days.
I don't get why they do. I hate it. Like, it's such a rip. It's a rip off. And then also, the games that they like, they brag about how you get free games every month, but the games that they give you are usually crap.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, they're not good. I'm not a huge fan of indie games, and a lot of times they give you indie games. Every once in a while, they have something really good. Now, I will say this: Xbox has done a really good job of giving away like good games for their games with gold membership. So they're doing a much better job than Sony at this point in that regard. But Death Stranding. Is it going to be at E3?
That's that Kojima's game. I was going to bring that up.
Yep, Kojima's game's not going to be there, which is interesting. I thought for sure, he'd reveal some gameplay or something.
Yeah.
Days Gone, we kind of talked about that. Detroit Become Human. The last thing I really have for Sony, or the last two things I have for Sony, one being the Spider-Man game that's going to be PS4 exclusive. That looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that. I think that, kind of harkens back to those Spider-Man games that were really good on PS2, like during the PS2 generation. But I'm looking forward to that. I think a lot of people are pretty excited for that game.
Yeah.
They revealed that last year, right? Or was that the year before they revealed that? I can't remember exactly.
I don't remember.
I think it was last year, but yeah, it looks good. And it's, once again, Sony exclusive. So PlayStation exclusive. Sony's just killing it, man, with their exclusives. And Xbox is so far behind in that regard.
I mean, the exclusivity is what won the Xbox 360, the hearts, and now.
Yeah,
Sony was betting on power, and this will go back into the Scorpio here in a minute when we get there. But yeah, I don't know.
Sony's killing them, man.
Yeah,
Sony's killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had an Xbox, and the only game that I can say this generation that's exclusive that I really wanted was Gears of War 4, And everything else you could pretty much get. I mean, they've had a couple of good games, like Dead Rising, but even Dead Rising 4 is a timed exclusive, and I believe it's actually coming out for PS4 this year. So,
Yeah.
But the last thing I have on my list as far as PlayStation is the Final Fantasy VII remake. You think we'll finally see some gameplay from that?
Well, that was kind of one of my two dream games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't really expect it. I mean, just based on Square's track history, they tend to take years and years to make these games.
That's it.
You might not see that game until PS5.
Yeah, possibly. That wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see that FF7.
Sorry, you cut out there. I think we lost him again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on tonight.
Oh, sorry about that. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII is on a short list of my all-time favorite games.
I'd say so.
I mean,
name your child after.
Yeah.
For anyone in the audience, he actually named his daughter after a Final Fantasy VII character.
Yeah.
Yep. Guilty as charged.
So there you go. That says a lot.
So yeah, and she grew up to be a gamer nerd. So
yeah, of course,
that was But
what's going on in the live chat right now? You seen it?
Someone posted a star.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro, Leviathan.
Yeah.
Someone named Leviathan's in our chat.
But so moving on now, Dakota, we're finally gonna hit Microsoft. So
yes, it's roast time. Let's go.
So as far as Microsoft, obviously, the elephant in the room is the Project Scorpio unveiling, which is going to happen this Sunday. Which is, I think it would be cool. I can see why people are excited for that. It's going to be a much more powerful console. I'm not excited about the fact that they're doing these like mid-generation consoles, but it'll be good for Xbox gamers. And at this point, Microsoft's got to do everything they can to kind of stick out because Sony's just stomping them at this point.
Yeah.
All right, bro. I have to admit something. This is kind of a point of shame, possibly, but as like kind of a very casual, let's say, follower of the Xbox scene, I still don't really understand what the Scorpio is. So is it like a new console? Is it like
It's basically a new console with more power. So it's kind of like, how the PS4 Pro is kind of like this mid-generation like upgrade console. That's essentially what Scorpio is. At least that's the understanding.
So like they'll be able to play like Xbox One games.
Yeah, it's still an Xbox One. It just has better specs. So it has, a better GPU and a better CPU and everything in it, more RAM. And essentially, it's going to play all the same games that you can get on Xbox One. It's just going to play them at a higher resolution. So you're going to be able to play them in full 4K.
So I just wonder if Microsoft might be committing kind of like a Wii U kind of mistake here, because I mean I think people will. There might be some confusion as to whether the Scorpio is like an upgrade to like their existing Xbox, whether it's a new console that will only play like Scorpio exclusive games.
Exactly. Yeah. Some people, layman people are definitely gonna be confused. Now, at this point, we don't even know if it's gonna be called Scorpio. It's just kind of the Project Scorpio was kind of the name that it was given in development, right? So it's kind of
like Project Dolphin.
Exactly. So Project Scorpio might not be the final name. We won't know for sure until Sunday. I mean, it might be called Xbox One something or other. It might even be just called like Xbox One Scorpio, which would be a
Xbox
little less.
2.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder if they do that next gen. But yeah, Xbox One was a horrible name.
Oh God, yes.
Sheesh. But so I don't know. It's a cool idea. I don't like I said, I'm not a big fan of this kind of mid-generation console cycle thing that they're doing, especially since we're coming up on what would typically be the end of a console generation. I would much rather them just wait a year and then release brand new consoles that are completely spec'd out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like they're so far behind. They're trying to just push out a powerful system, and that didn't work for Sony's PS3 being the more powerful system. They need the exclusive games, and they don't have that.
Exactly.
Like, there's nothing on the list that I'm excited about other than games that are already going to be on PC too.
Yeah.
There's nothing exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah, and that's the thing is now that I have a PC, like I don't need an Xbox. Of course, I sold my Xbox to get the PC. So I like Microsoft. I think competition is good, right? Obviously, like at the end of the day, I want Microsoft to stay in the game because, as long as there's a competitor to Sony's going to always have to push to innovate, right? So the day that we don't have competition in the market is going to be the day that innovation dies. But so at the end of the day, yeah, I'm glad that Microsoft's out there. I'm not a big fan per se of Xbox. Like I have fond memories of playing Xbox 360. Obviously, we'd have our game nights and stuff, but they just don't have any exclusive games that I'm really interested in.
This gen's just been pretty rough for them.
Yeah, it really has been.
I mean, just looking at the list of exclusives, I mean, it's pretty rough, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, Crackdown 3.
Forza 7.
Huh?
Forza. I mean,
Forza.
I don't.
Another Forza.
Forza 7, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy, like how often they're pumping these Forzas out.
I mean, I don't see anything else that's exclusive.
So Crackdown 3 is obviously, I think, the big one. Crackdown 3 has been, in development for several years. It's supposed to use cloud-based computing to like make the levels like to have like some kind of like level of destruction that wouldn't be possible otherwise. Like basically, from my understanding, it sounds kind of cool actually with Crackdown 3. I don't know if you guys ever played the first Crackdown games, but you can literally like the environments are 100% destructible. So
like Faction Guerrilla destruction.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can knock down skyscrapers, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Cool as heck. So it has some potential to be really cool. But once again, this game's kind of been in development hell for a while. So, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a game that they're going to really push with the Scorpio since it's going to have that added power.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of the showcase game. It seems like
the potential obviously is for a Halo reveal. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that Halo 6 is ready. I mean, it might be something else, a spin-off type game, maybe some expansion to
Halo 5.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't even think that. I think it'd be like some like a game sort of like Halo Wars, something like around that lines.
Also like a spin-off game.
Yeah, spin-off game. Maybe. I mean, otherwise looking at their lineup, Sea of Thieves, I'm super excited about, but I'm not going to be getting that on Xbox.
Yeah, that was the next game I was going to talk about, and that's the game I'm actually like the only exclusive that they have that I'm excited for is Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves is going to be awesome. Rare is knocking that one out of the park from what I'm seeing.
That's going to be on PC also.
Yep.
So we can all play. We can all hunt for pirate booty on PC. So
I swear that game looks so good.
It does look really good. Are you familiar with this game, Bon?
A little bit. It's like an MMO pirate simulator kind of game.
It's kind of like a cartoony like pirate game that like I don't know. It just looks really fun.
And Rob's been known to not like cartoony graphics, and he's still down for this one.
Well, come on, dude. I'm a Nintendo fan. You can't tell me. I'm like...
You say if it's like on Xbox or PlayStation.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit different. Like I expect it from Nintendo. But that's part of Nintendo's charm, I guess.
Yeah, and then again, State of Decay is on that list. Again, it's going to be on PC. Fable Fortune, a card game.
Fable Fortune? Yeah.
Fable Fortune. Yeah, it's going to be like a Hearthstone Fable game. They can take that one and shove it for all I'm concerned. How dare they like rip that off? Especially when you have Gwent that's coming out and you have Hearthstone, you have all these other games that are card games. We don't want a Fable card game. We want a new Fable game. Yeah. Or that Fable MOBA that we're making that they canceled.
I never really understood playing card games on PC or on a console.
Dude, I love card games.
No, the Gwent one, you could download that one. That one's free now.
It does not surprise me that Bond likes playing card games.
I like strategy card games. It's fun, but it makes no sense for a Fable card game. Like that game is a huge RPG. I'm like where Witcher 3, the game was within a game.
Yeah.
And they just stripped the game within a game out, made it standalone. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, like all these companies are kind of jumping on the Hearthstone bandwagon, and I mean that looks awful, honestly.
It's a cash grab, is what that is on the Fable license, so they can literally sit and spin on that one because I love Fable. I love Fable 1. I love Fable 2. I mean, Fable 3 was kind of a disaster, but it was still pretty good. But, yeah. I'm just going to move on from that one.
Do you think it's possible that we'll see a Fable game announced?
I don't know. Lionhead Studios was shut down.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe, but it's not going to be...
Maybe they have another studio that might have picked it up or something.
Then again, now that I mentioned that, Casey Hudson from BioWare works for Microsoft. So if they're going to put anybody on a Fable game, why not the creator of Mass Effect and Knights of the Old Republic?
That's what I want. Let's give us a Knights of the Old Republic.
No, hold on. That's my dream game.
Oh, okay. No, you just repealed that. Damn it. All right, we'll come back to that. But I real quickly with Microsoft, there's two things that I want to say that they are doing right that I want to kind of talk about. And one thing that I think that they might focus more on at E3, and first of all, it's going to be more cross-play support for Windows. This is something I think is really cool that Microsoft's doing, and something that I personally would like to see more of. Especially if we're still an Xbox owner, I think it'd be really great to be able to, because before I bought my PC, we had talked about, playing like Rocket League and stuff together, cross-play. So I think we're going to see more of that, which, I think they're going to probably emphasize some more, cross-play support for Windows 10 on various games that are upcoming, obviously Sea of Thieves, stuff like that, which will be cool. Maybe even Crackdown.
Hopefully.
So I think that's going to be a big thing. The last thing I was going to say, and this is something that I really like, I got to applaud Microsoft for doing, and that's their backwards compatibility. Like, for some reason, PS4 has no backwards compatibility whatsoever. And personally, it's something that I would like to see because, I'd like to be able to pop in my old discs and play, PS3, PS2, and PS1 games.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't. But Microsoft's managed to, rig backwards compatibility with the Xbox One, and you can pretty much play all, not all, but you can play a very large library of Xbox 360 games at this point.
Yeah, all top sellers, I know.
Yeah, big titles. I mean, and then they have these amazing sales, right? Like just a couple weeks ago, they had just, I don't know, dozens of games, right? Including like, that Ghostbusters game that came out for Xbox and PS3, which is one of the most underrated games of all time.
Agreed.
Yeah,
it was $1.50 or something like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, they just amazing deals. So bravo, Microsoft, on that. I will give you big credit for that, and that's something that I think Sony needs to look at and take notice on. And Sony just the other day actually said that, they were asked about that, and they said that gamers don't want backwards compatibility. BS. Yes, we do. Yeah. Yes, we do. We want to go back. Like, I want to pop in Twisted Metal 1 in my PS4 and play some Twist every once in a while. You know what I
Hell
mean?
yeah.
I mean, come on. So yes, I will applaud Microsoft on that. And one prediction that I actually have is that maybe they might add some support for OG Xbox, which would be
that'd be cool.
Nice.
It seems like Microsoft at least is more for the gamer lately because they're doing the cross-play. At least they're trying to.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the Sony's court at this point with games.
Look,
but
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and then they're doing the backwards compatibility, and they have the really good deal on their games for gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they don't have titles. That's the only thing missing. And then I think really overtake PlayStation if they just did that.
Yeah. And I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say, look, all the negativity about Microsoft aside, I will say this. They, all the controversy that kind of, hosed them in the first place, this generation where they were talking about doing all that, you couldn't play used games or whatever. Remember that? You couldn't all that stuff like they were trying to do at the beginning of the console generation that they ended up making right. I will give them credit for that. And they've really, they've been over backwards to kind of lure consumers in as far as amazing deals on games and stuff. Like I remember last Christmas, what was it? I think it was Final Fantasy 15, right? Like you could pre-order it from Microsoft for like $30 when it was still a brand new, $60 game, and it hadn't even come out yet. So they had these cool like special deals every once in a while for like Xbox gamers. Not to mention the backwards compatibility and all that other stuff that they're doing. Like they really are trying to court and bring back the gamers, and I can appreciate that.
Look what they do for Xbox. They encourage you to buy an Xbox One now because if you buy a PC version of an Xbox game, you get that version for free.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yep. Yeah.
So,
I totally forgot about that. You're right. So if you buy Gears of War on Xbox, you also get it on PC, basically.
Cool. Well, I tell you, bro, there is actually one Xbox game that I'm kind of excited for. It is coming out on PC as well, but it's one of your hated indie games. But
I don't hate indie games.
It's called Cuphead. Have you ever heard of those?
That looks awesome.
It's like the 1930s, like cartoon style.
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
That does look good. I was really blown away by how great that game looks.
Yeah, it's amazing how well they capture that animation style. That looks really good.
I just want to say this. I don't hate indie games. I just, I prefer AAA. I'm a AAA gamer. I'm the type that really looks for these big, blockbuster games. There has been some good stuff indie stuff that's come out, but I feel like there's also a lot of shovelware.
My stance on this one, okay. The problem with AAA games for me is there are a lot of cash grabbing going on.
Yeah.
But then again, our generation is it's really changing because it's going from where indie developers are putting out AAA titles.
Yeah.
And then you have AAA developers making indie games.
Yeah.
So, you have a game, like for example, you have Hello Games who made what's that disaster that came out? No Man's Sky.
Yeah, No Man's Sky.
Oh God, yes.
God, that was the.
It was bad.
We should do a No Man's Sky podcast. Just dog on him.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, but then you have like an indie developer like CD Projekt Red that puts out Witcher 3.
Yeah.
So,
but it's interesting that indie games are putting out these games that can rival big studios now.
Yeah.
Like No Man's Sky and Witcher 3, those are both top of the line technologically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that hopefully these indie studios are be the ones that keep pushing like new games because the big AAA titles sadly nowadays are nothing but sequels and rehashes. So
the reason I love these indie games are because there's a lot more passion put into them for the most part. You can tell that it's just love was actually it sounds corny, but it sounds like love was put in it rather than just hey, let's push this out.
Yeah. No, totally. I totally
agree. I've kind of become disenchanted with AAA games as well, just because kind of like Dakota said, that it seems like they're just so soulless and formulaic.
I don't know. There's still a lot of really good.
AAA there is. That's true.
But yeah, a lot of it. I agree. A lot of these companies, EA.
There's still developers out there that care, like Naughty Dog, Rockstar, stuff like that.
Right.
They put their heart into their game still, but there's a lot there doesn't. So, wait a minute. Here's another game I just saw, Call of Cthulhu.
What? That looks cool. That's
like I couldn't find any information on that. I thought like I was looking for. I love Cthulhu stuff. Obviously,
is that a Bethesda game?
I don't know whether it's a Bethesda game. I was hoping Bond would know about this game.
Yeah, I think Bethesda developed the one that came out back in the day, right? Like the Call of Cthulhu game.
Maybe.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was like OG Xbox era, OG Xbox. So we're talking early 2000s. But I think it was Bethesda. I'm not sure if they're developing it now, but. That's totally like a franchise that deserves more attention, not only in the game world, but in the cinema world, is H.P. Lovecraft stuff.
Yeah. I mean, imagine like a big studio coming out with a Cthulhu movie.
There was supposed to be was it Mountains of Madness movie developed? Yeah. But it never worked out, sadly. It was going to be developed by what's his name? That one director, Del Toro.
Oh,
yeah.
That
idea would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to cover any of the sports games because those are yearly.
Yeah.
That's, Sonic Forces, is that exclusive to Xbox? I think Sonic's exclusive to Xbox now.
I don't think so.
Is it not?
I think that's a cross-platform.
I think it's at least on PC as well.
Yeah, I thought. I could swore. But other than that, I don't see anything.
But let's be honest. Who's really hyped for Sonic Forces?
I'm just trying to pull this off the list of stuff coming out.
I don't think I've ever been hyped for a Sonic game. I mean, I liked the Sonic games back in the day, but I was never hyped for them.
Right? Yeah, same here. I mean, but Sonic Forces, is that the new like 2D one?
No, that's Sonic Mania.
No, that one looks pretty good.
Yeah, that one looks cool.
Sonic Forces is probably another 3D trash.
Yeah, Sonic Forces is 3D. None of the 3D ones I've ever appreciated.
I mean, I'm looking at this list. South Park is coming for PS4, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That game's probably going to be great.
Yeah.
Call of Duty World War II is going to be cross-platform. You can't say that's exclusive to Xbox. Ace Combat? I thought that was a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
No, I think that's cross-platform now. It used to be PlayStation exclusive, but
that was like one of my favorite games.
I think that one actually started out being PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see anything else.
Now, as far as we'll go ahead and move on to Nintendo real quick. So Nintendo, obviously, they've got ARMS coming out next week, which that game looks cool. Every time I see like footage of ARMS, it looks fun, but like I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up day one. It's probably a game I'll probably pick up when it goes on sale. But I can't help but think when I watch the footage of it that they missed the opportunity to do a Punch Out instead of that. I think that would have been a better choice to do a new Punch Out than to do a new IP that's similar to Punch Out. You know what I mean? Like,
that does seem strange, honestly. Like Punch Out is such a popular franchise for them. They had it was a pretty big game for them last gen, I think.
Yeah, and it's essentially a boxing game. So I mean, give me some King Hippo.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's I don't know. It seems like a missed opportunity. Maybe we'll see, another Punch Out in the future. The one that came out for Wii was really good.
Yeah. You can fight Donkey Kong and all.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll do another, obviously Nintendo is just going to pump out, more. We were talking about sequels and stuff. Nintendo's the one company that like, I don't mind seeing more and more sequels of the same games. Cause let's face it, until I'm dead in the ground, I'm going to be wanting to play Mario games. So, but I would like to see more new IPs from Nintendo. So obviously ARMS is a new IP, so we got to give them credit for that. Splatoon, this is a sequel of a new IP, so it's like the first new IP that they've had in a while. And Splatoon's just amazing. I'm telling you, Bon, you would love it. If you ever get a Switch for Eris, and we're gonna play some Splatoon. But
sounds good.
I expect Nintendo. Let me backtrack a little bit. First off, the games that we know are going to be there obviously are Super Mario Odyssey, which is going to be a great game. I mean, anything Mario. I don't think they've ever made a bad Mario game. So it looks interesting. I have to admit, I'm not super hyped for this Mario game because it really threw me off when I saw the trailer, and it has that kind of real world setting of like New York City or something. Like at the beginning of the video.
Donk City, apparently.
Yeah. It's weird. Like it just doesn't fit in with like the Super Mario universe. And so that kind of threw me off. But then I've seen other gameplay footage, like bits and pieces like that are out there of like other worlds and stuff that actually look more Mario. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting for sure. And then the whole plot, I guess, is like Bowser kidnaps Princess Peach and is trying to marry her, like forced marriage or something. Like, what's going on with that, man? Like, but that looks weird. So it should be interesting. I mean, it's Nintendo, it's Mario. So at the end of the day, you know it's going to be good, regardless of whatever it is.
Like, I've never really been like a huge fan of the 3D Mario games. I mean, I appreciate them, but I think like it's mostly because for some reason 3D platformers make me nauseous. I don't know why. But,
really? Huh.
Yeah, isn't that weird? But yeah, I was never really a big fan of them. But I mean, I obviously respect their quality. I mean, they've all been great games.
I'm actually with you. I know a lot of people really love like Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, all that stuff. I prefer the side-scrolling 2D games. And like my favorite, obviously the original 3 Marios or 4 Marios, if you count Super Mario World, are the best. And then after that, like with Mario 64, I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, it's a good game, but I'm just not really into it.
Yeah.
And, Sunshine, same deal.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U was the first 3D game that I really felt did it right.
Really?
Yeah, because it like Mario 64 and Sunshine and Mario Galaxy all were kind of like, just different. Like they didn't really quite fit in with the normal like Super Mario universe.
Mm-hmm.
Mario 3D World kind of felt like the true 3D successor to like Super Mario 3 and Super Mario World. So if you ever get a chance, I think you'd really like that one. And actually, I'll probably be coming back to that topic here in a minute. So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a game that evidently is like some kind of effort. With
Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. And it hasn't. I don't think it's officially been announced yet, but it was leaked by the cover art was leaked online at some point. So they're going to announce that. And from what I hear, it's actually an RPG.
Oh, that could be kind of cool.
But Rabbids.
Yeah, never been a fan of the Rabbids franchise, but
weird. I don't know what the heck's going on with that. Then as far as other games that, I mean, at this point, the Nintendo Switch is still in its infancy. We've only kind of got a small picture of like what to kind of expect. Obviously, like a new Mario game. One thing I really expect to see is maybe some announcements for some of their like long-standing franchises. Maybe even a Metroid game. There's some rumors out there that Retro Studios might be working on a new Metroid game. Maybe even a Metroid Prime sequel of some sort, which would be really cool and really interesting, especially with the power of the Switch. It would look great. Of course, I expect to see, potentially, new Metroid, Animal Crossing, maybe a Kirby game, Pikmin, Donkey Kong Country, those kind of normal Nintendo titles. Like, we'll probably see sequels to those announced. There's rumor out there that, there's some rumors that there is going to be a new Pikmin and a new Donkey Kong. So we'll see about that.
I mean, I also expect them to talk about their Legend of Zelda mobile release.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda mobile
and updates to their mobile games, like the Animal Crossing mobile release as well.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a lot more emphasis on upcoming mobile games, which Nintendo's smart to do because it's cash cow right there.
I mean, that might, going back to that DS thing, that might be what they're going for now. Those mobile games.
I don't think so. I think mobile games are still kind of like a side project at this point because even like Mario Run, like I played it and it sucked. It's like, I mean, it's a fun game for like people who are just like, say, sitting in the bus going to work or something. But like, as far as having depth and everything of like a traditional Mario game, it's not there. It essentially plays itself.
I really hate to break it to you, but like for example, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes makes more money than any of the Star Wars or EA games.
No, don't get me wrong. They're gonna be putting. Oh, it's profitable, and they're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on it. But I don't think it's going to be their bread and butter. I still think that they're going to be focusing on making actual like full-fledged Mario and Zelda games.
I was more heading towards the fact that they're going to be putting more emphasis on it, though. Like they're going to be producing more intricate games for mobile.
Yeah. Well, from my understanding, they have a partnership. What studio is it?
They have an Apple partnership too, though.
No, but maybe I don't know about that. But they do have a partnership with some famous like cell phone gaming development company. I can't remember the name.
I don't remember. I don't know names.
They're the ones who develop Mario and all that.
I do know that they have exclusivity through Apple, that everything will be released on iOS first. So
they got a development studio though that handles all their like mobile stuff. So I don't think that's going to be as big of an issue, like taking away from their normal like Switch games or 3DS games.
No, I don't think it's gonna take away. I just think that we're gonna be seeing more of it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Way more.
That's just smart on their part, That's good business. But one thing, here's a big prediction. I have two big predictions. One, we're gonna finally see the virtual console for the Switch unveiled. And I'm really excited for this. Obviously, they just recently announced that they have their online service is being pushed back till next year. And then part of that announcement was the fact that they're also going to have a subscription. Part of that subscription service is going to include like, playable games, right? So you get like access to like a library of games that you can play. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. And these are going to be retro games. Like Mario 3 was announced as one of the games. I think Kirby or something was also announced. But of course the virtual console has, since the Wii, has been kind of a bread and butter thing for them as far as making extra money by adapting these classic retro games, that you can play on the go. And the Switch is the perfect device for this, because imagine being able to not only play NES, SNES, N64, but GameCube games on the go wherever you're at. Imagine how amazing that would be.
Yeah.
And there's rumors that the virtual console for the Switch is going to have GameCube games, which would be awesome. And I'm personally really excited because I want to play Luigi's Mansion on the go. So, I predict that, they're going to finally release information on the virtual console. And then here's the biggest prediction I have, that we're going to see a lot more ports of Wii U games. Now, typically I would say this is, like if Microsoft or Sony were to continue to put emphasis on re-releasing PS3 or like, last gen games like Xbox 360 games, I'd be pretty pissed off. But the Wii U was such an underappreciated, underrated console with so many good games that were, we're talking, remember, I think we talked about it a couple podcasts back, that like 13 million units were sold of the Wii U. So that's worldwide. So probably half of those were in the United States, which means out of 300 million people in the United States, only 6 million people roughly had a Wii U. That's insane considering the quality of the games that were on it. So far we started to see some ports of Wii U games, obviously with Mario Kart 8. What game did they just announce was being ported? The Pokemon Tournament game is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an announcement that a bunch of Wii U ports are going to be coming. Where I'm talking like Captain Toad, the Captain Toad game,
the Wind Waker remake too.
All that stuff. Maybe the one I would really like to see that I mentioned earlier, and I said I'd come back to this topic, was Super Mario 3D World, which was amazing. One of the best Mario games ever made, and hardly anyone ever played it. And it's a travesty that no one ever played that game. So I would really like to see that ported over to the Switch so that people can actually play it.
More Super Mario Maker too.
Yeah, I think, Super Mario Maker, I think will probably get ported over. And Donkey Kong Country, the one that came out for Wii U, I can't remember the name exactly. But I mean, these were fantastic games that hardly anyone got the chance to play. And having these games ported over to the Switch would be a great idea, so that people who never had a Wii U could actually play some of these classic games that they never got to try. So I really hope that Nintendo does put an emphasis on porting some of these games over. And I think we will see that. Oh, Smash Brothers, the last Smash Brothers game, I think will probably get ported over too. So that's my big prediction is we're going to see a lot of Wii U ports. And me personally, I celebrate it.
Yeah, there's another thing to cover before we drop the Nintendo topic. But I think we'll see the DLC for Breath of the Wild. Or we'll get teased with it, at least.
Yeah.
Get teased with the new Mario. And I think, before I hit it on the top of my head, teased with, I think we'll actually see Splatoon 2 playable.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's coming out in like...
I think they'll have a booth for that one. And
well, they've already had... Nintendo does these things called, where they're called test fires, right? And so, like, several months, like, they had already did a test fire for Splatoon 2, and they did test fires for ARMS, where basically you can download a demo, and then, like, for, 3 days in a row, you can play at certain times online against other people. And so, ARMS is coming out next week, and then Splatoon is coming out in July. So I guarantee you they're going to have it playable.
What other games do you think they're going to have playable there?
A lot of 3DS stuff.
Yeah.
Like the new Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, there's a new Pokemon game coming out, like Ultra Moon or something like that. Yeah, that should be awesome.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were really disappointed because they were expecting for there to be a full-fledged Pokemon game announced for the Switch, and there wasn't. So, I don't know, maybe they could still unveil something, but the only thing that they unveiled was the Pokemon tournament port, which was kind of, annoying as far as, for fans who wanted something new. But
it still seems so weird that Nintendo will never make a main street or like a main line Pokemon RPG for one of their consoles.
I'm surprised they haven't done it already, but I guarantee you they will at some point do it for the Switch, because I really feel like the 3DS is maybe going to last another year or two tops, and then the Switch is going to be like the primary focus on both console and handheld.
That's true.
Yeah. And can you imagine the power? I mean, the Switch is a beautiful system. Like, I mean, the graphics, I mean, obviously it's not up to par as far as specs for like PS4 or Xbox One, but it's still a very powerful console. And can you imagine, the power of the Switch behind a Pokemon game? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, but great.
I forgot to totally cover this. Fire Emblem Warriors, which is Fire Emblem Dynasty Warriors crossover.
Yep.
So
I'm not a big fan of that series, admittedly, but yeah.
Fire Emblem's really good.
I heard it's good.
It is, yeah.
But mixed with it'd be almost like the Hyrule Warriors. Actually, exactly is Hyrule Warriors. Just Fire Emblem characters. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah.
So, other than that, I don't know what else they could announce unless they brain out.
Well, they're bringing
Smash Brothers tease. Maybe.
Yeah, I guarantee. I honestly would bet money that they announce Smash Brothers. Either I don't think it's going to be a new. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a new game, but I think it's probably going to be a port of Smash Brothers Wii U.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which like I said, I mean, there's just it's criminal how underrated some of the games were for the Wii U. It really, I had so much fun with that console. It's the console that brought me back into the fold of being a Nintendo fan after so many years. Just really getting excited for Nintendo. And
they did announce a new Harvest Moon, which is also going to be on PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be on Switch and PC.
I have to admit, I don't really focus a lot on the news for the 3DS because I don't own one, and I don't really play a lot of handheld stuff. So I probably should keep up on that stuff more. But
I don't know.
It's still going strong.
Yeah. Well, I've read that. There should be quite a few indie games coming to the Switch, which should
that's good.
Oh yeah.
That's really good for them.
The Switch is going to be. I predict that the Switch is going to be like the kind of like the PS4 has kind of become like the indie developers system of choice. I think the Switch is going to be it's going to be another one. I think we're going to see a lot of games that are like indies that are ported over from PC and stuff to the Switch.
Yeah, like. I've read that Stardew Valley might be making an appearance.
Yeah.
Ooh, that game is so good. That's basically it's replaced Harvest Moon.
I mean, you got Binding of Isaac already, and
Yeah. Stardew Valley's so great. Penny is best waifu, by the way.
There you go.
So
which will be interesting because that game's supposed to be getting co-op soon too. So I wonder how that's going to work out for Stardew Valley.
Yeah, that could be cool.
A multiplayer, pretty much Harvest Moon game on the Switch.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah, for sure.
If that rumor comes to pass. I think we lost Rob on this one, though.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about. But so moving on. Now,
we have to cover PC here soon too.
Yeah, well, I'll let you kind of handle the PC stuff. Yeah, let's go and do that real quick. What big PC stuff?
Bannerlord, Mountain Blade Bannerlord, which has been like in development for like years and years and years and years. That game is supposed to be coming out pretty.
Since I'm new to the Master Race, a lot of this is probably going to be foreign. But
Total War Warhammer 2 is announcing, Total War Warhammer 2. Yet they just came out with Total War Warhammer last year. I'm a little concerned about that one. We're probably going to see more Quake. Oh, Quake Champions 2, a new Quake game, which should, if any of you,
that would be cool.
Ever.
I loved Quake back in the day, man. Especially like I have really fond memories of playing the Quake tournament that was on Dreamcast.
Yeah. Oh, Dreamcast. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah. Like
trying to look see what other ones.
Go ahead, Bob. What are you saying, Bob?
Oh, I was gonna say Dreamcast Unreal Tournament. That was so great.
Unreal. Yeah. What other PC stuff's coming out that you guys are hyped for?
Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
Is that like a DLC or is that a full-fledged game?
I think it's gonna be a full-fledged game.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
And I would assume BioWare's new sci-fi game, which isn't Mass Effect, by the way. There's a likelihood that they might announce that.
Public. Nice.
Maybe.
Oh man,
that'd be so awesome. Man. That right there would be like, the one thing that everyone took away from the show.
Easily.
Apparently, we're getting
a fantastic game.
Rage 2, maybe.
Really? Rage? They're gonna make a sequel to that?
I mean, Bethesda loves pumping out sequels to shit. So.
Wow. I didn't think that one really.
Speaking of Evil Within 2.
Oh yeah, Evil Within 2. Yep. Yeah, I have kind of a list of stuff here, like from individual developers I wanted to go through, and that's definitely on the list. Real quickly before we do that, I had another question for you guys. What was your most memorable E3 moment of the past?
I mean, just off the top of my head, I mean, you have to admit the reveal of the Wii was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Was the Sony's like $599 thing at
Oh
E3?
yeah. Oh yeah. People are like, what? That was so mocked.
Yeah.
But man, that was, I was just thinking yesterday, actually, funny thing, like, I saw it in like maybe one of the groups, because I buy and sell like retro games a lot. There was like someone had posted PS3, like, the first like, edition one, the piano black with all the gold trim. That was the most beautiful console ever made.
It was.
That thing was premium, man. I mean, it was like, like a Ferrari. When you look back at like how like consoles look now, that like compared to that thing, that was like the Ferrari of consoles, man.
It really was.
But of course, you paid for it too, because it was like $700 when it came out. Man,
and they're still worth quite a bit since they have like the backwards exclusive backwards compatibility.
I know. I want one because that way I can go back and play PS3, PS2, and PS1.
Yeah,
I'd like to get my hands on one. They come up for sale every once in a while, like refurbished on like Groupon, and they sell out immediately.
Oh man!
But
what were you saying, Dakota?
Yeah, what was
mine's gonna be more because it left me so salty. Mad. So it would be the Division reveal.
Oh yeah.
When the Division first was announced at E3, it looked so good.
Ubisoft.
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 Got me again.
Always downgrading graphics.
The Division is probably the one that I was like most excited about.
How about Watch Dogs?
Oh
yeah. I forgot about that one.
Oh my god, dude. And Watch Dogs, for what it was when it came out, I thought it wasn't, it wasn't a great game, but I beat the game. I thought it was pretty fun, And then Watch Dogs 2, I played that, and I liked it a lot. But when they first revealed that thing, man, it looked beautiful, like the lighting effects and just, the rain. Yeah. Oh man, it was a beautiful game. And then when it comes out, it was like, okay, what happened to all that? But yeah, Ubisoft's notorious for that, man. They always do that.
Yeah.
I was about to talk, get to this, but like obviously, Ubisoft's going to be revealing the new Assassin's Creed. I wonder if we're going to get this insane trailer that's going to be downgraded by the time.
Yeah,
inevitably.
But go ahead. Sorry.
I love the Assassin's Creed game, and I hope that's not the case. But let's see. I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, for me, I just want to share my E3 moment real quick. And I have to say, like, the one I was so excited, Twisted Metal, you're going back to Twisted Metal, but the Twisted Metal for PS3, like, I've been waiting for years and years and years for a new Twisted Metal. And I was suspected that it was going to happen. And David Jaffe denied that, like, it was going to happen. And I just felt like in the bottom of my soul that there was going to be a Twisted Metal announcement. And sure enough, that was like Sony's, like, big end of their press conference moment, where they revealed Twisted Metal for PS3. And of course, Sweet Tooth comes out in like his ice cream truck. Oh my God, dude, just blown away. So
that's awesome.
I hope, well, I'll get into that here in a little bit, but I hope Sony has some surprises for us this year. Real quickly, I think, we should probably start to kind of wrap this up, but I just want to kind of go down the list real quick of like the big developers and kind of what we can expect. Obviously, EA, Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I'm really hyped about. I kind of got burned with the last one, because I bought the game when it first came out and it was full price and it didn't have a single player campaign. It only had a couple of maps. I was pissed off, but the game itself, what little was there, was amazing. The graphics, I felt like I was in the Star Wars universe, just amazing. So I'm really hyped for Battlefront 2 because it seems like EA DICE this time around is not going to hose us. You're going to get a full game with a single player campaign, a bunch of different planets that span over the different eras. And did you guys see that image that leaked the other day? It wasn't a leaked image. I think they actually released it. EA did, but it was of Theed.
Really?
No.
Yeah, like the Theed map. It is beautiful. Oh my God. And I love the prequels. I don't care what anyone says.
The Theed is on Naboo, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it has the Theed map. We can confirm at this point is going to be part of the game. But this game takes place not only in multiplayer, it has maps that span the prequel, the original trilogy, and of course the new sequel trilogy that is coming out now. So
I remember you see Kylo Ren in the trailer for it, which is pretty awesome.
As good as Battlefront's gonna be, I want to see Visceral. What do you guys think? I'm seeing news on that one, or even Respawn's Star Wars game at that. Either one of those.
Oh my God, they're gonna be amazing. Those two developers are two of my favorite developers. The Visceral Games, I really hope we finally see there. I think we are going to see Visceral Games this year. I have no idea what it is. I don't think anyone does. I'm really hoping that, maybe that they transitioned Visceral over to that Star Wars. What was the game called?
1313.
1313. I really hope that's what they're doing.
I kind of hope it's not, though.
Really?
I hope it's in that same style, but I hope it has nothing to do with that. Because I don't want to see them butcher Boba Fett with EA.
No, I don't think they'd butcher Boba Fett. It would have been a really cool prequel. But I almost wonder if maybe they can this project. Like, what theory of mine is that they can that project because they plan to use it for a movie.
Oh, maybe.
Which, because at some point we're going to get a Boba Fett, Star Wars story movie. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
And so it could be interesting if they kind of use the plot from that for that movie. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I'm always down to see more Coruscant. So
yeah, exactly.
We don't see it enough in the newer movies.
I know. What the heck? Like, it seems like well, let's not get on that subject.
Yeah.
That's for another podcast. But so Yeah, I would like to see what's the game that Respawn's working on.
I don't know. But I mean,
dude,
Titanfall 2.
All I gotta say
developers?
is Titanfall. That says it all.
Yeah. Which we'll have to hit that up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hit that up later. We're gonna have some Titanfall action tonight. So yeah, I love Respawn Entertainment. Of course, they are former Call of Duty developers, the good Call of Duty developers.
Yeah.
That left, and then and if you haven't played Titanfall, you guys are missing out. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, Rockstar. Is Rockstar even going to show up at all?
They're not showing up? What?
I don't know if they're showing up. There's no mention of them on any of the lists.
They're going to be there. I guarantee you Red Dead Redemption is going to be there because it's coming out early next year. So they're going to have gameplay at E3.
But Rockstar, that's the thing about Rockstar. They don't need to have. They don't even need to show up to E3 to sell.
Because they're the rock stars.
Exactly.
Like one thing I've read on 4chan, so take it as you will. Supposedly, Bethesda employee said that they're going to reveal a VR version of Fallout 4.
Yeah, I've heard that. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, imagine.
Holy smokes.
That good though.
Huh?
Well, I didn't like Fallout 4 that much.
What? I have to be honest. I haven't played Fallout 4.
I love. Okay, I come from someone who loves New Vegas, and New Vegas Fallout 4 is like generic compared to that.
But look, I don't care how good. Look, maybe Fallout 4 is not as good as Fallout 3, but just the ability to play in that universe in VR.
Yeah, I can take that. That'd be great. I mean, yeah.
And that's what I want to see with VR, honestly. Like, I want to start seeing more of these like full game experiences within if I had to say like I had a dream game that I would want to play in VR, Resident Evil 1 in VR. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Oh, that Capcom. I wonder if they're going to announce on those remakes they've been working on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if they revealed Resident Evil 2 remake? Holy smokes.
That would be
now my hype level's up, and I'm gonna.
Holy smokes! Yeah, it's possible. I didn't even have that on my list. I didn't even think about that, but
Or Resident and the Resident Evil 7 stuff. They're probably being.
Well, okay. Think about this though. I just thought about this. Think about all the stuff that Capcom's been doing this year. Like as far as re-releasing all the old games and stuff for like different, for PS3 or PS4 and Xbox. I mean, we're talking at this point, they've pretty much released every single Resident Evil game, like mainline Resident Evil game that's ever been made for PS4 and Xbox. Right. And then they even have Resident Evil, not Origins. What's the one that came out on 3DS? My brain's not functioning. Revelations. They have Revelations coming out for PS4 and Xbox here pretty soon, right? The port. It kind of makes sense that maybe they're leading up to something, right? Like some kind of reveal. It very well could be.
Possibly.
That they might reveal something Resident Evil.
They announced the Resident Evil 2 remake last year.
Yeah.
So they should have had plenty of time to get something together.
That's a good one. I haven't even read anywhere about that. So who knows?
Capcom's good at surprising people, though.
Yeah.
So.
That would be awesome. Ubisoft obviously has Far Cry 5, The Crew 2, South Park: The Fractured But Whole, Assassin's Creed Origins.
Interesting enough, they have far less games than they normally do.
Yeah.
Which might be a good thing for them.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5 looks interesting. I won't get into my political beliefs and stuff, but I'll just say I have some issues with like the setting and stuff. But it overall, it could be cool. It could be fun. If you don't overdo the whole
killing
political message. Yeah, exactly. So if they don't overdo that, it could be interesting. If it's more of like a David Koresh cult. Then that'd be okay. Like it's just some religious extremist and not play too much into the politics. Then that could be fun.
One good thing about that is, I've said it on group chats with us before that I'm not very excited for it because I didn't like Far Cry 4, but I do like the setting. I like that it's.
Well, I think
it's good old USA.
I never really have liked the Far Cry games, like playing by myself. But like if you play with a friend, they're fun as heck.
Yeah.
So. the multiplayer aspect of it's really good.
If they did a full co-op campaign,
they do. Far Cry 4 was co-op.
I mean, full. I mean, do it again. I don't. Yeah. I thought you could jump
in. Far Cry 3. Yeah, it was. It was fully co-op.
I don't think Far Cry 3 was. I think you could run around and mess around, but it wasn't full official game stuff.
I'm pretty sure 4 was.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I hated 4, so I could give.
The Crew, I have no interest in.
The Crew's okay. It's an okay game. It's a game I got into, not necessarily liking racing games.
It's cool how they managed to make an entire you could literally drive from one coast of the United States to the other within the game. Yeah. Have you ever heard of that, Bon?
No, not at all.
Yeah, basically the Crew 1, it's a racing game or whatever, but it's an open world game where the entire United States is open for you to drive across.
Kind
of course, yeah, but it's not obviously 100% accurate. It's kind of like a scaled down version of the United States, but as you drive, you can literally start in Los Angeles and drive clear across, through the United States onto the East Coast. But of course, it's scaled down and stuff.
It's specific cities. You go from LA, Las Vegas, Dallas.
So it's not a one-to-one accurate representation, obviously, but it's still pretty cool that you can actually.
Kansas, so shame on
It's still it takes quite a while to drive across.
Yeah.
It takes
but it's
hours.
Still what's funny? It's still smaller than the GTA 5 map. Actually.
No way.
Yeah, it is.
How is that possible?
Have you played the game?
I haven't played it. I just
trust me, it's smaller. I mean, they have the individual cities.
Okay. It's not as cool as I thought then, but
it's definitely not as cool.
I read reviews and it sounded really interesting. I was wow, that's cool.
They have tons of cities, but the cities are the size of, say, GTA 3.
Huh.
No, they're really small cities. It's basically LA is a really small, and then Las Vegas really small, but together combine them all, it's pretty big, but it's still.
Yeah. Well, it's a cool concept, I guess.
But.
South Park, I always want to say the whole, but it's the fractured butthole.
I can't wait for that game.
That's gonna be cool.
I don't know if you played it, Rob.
No, I really want. Yeah, that's on my list.
So freaking bad. It's crude humor.
Oh yeah, I love South Park.
That's them going above and beyond what they do on the show.
Oh really? I'll love it then. I love Trey Parker and Matt.
Let's just put it like this: you go up Mr. Slave's ass in one game.
Wow, I love Trey Parker and Matt Stone though. I love South Park. Assassin's Creed. Obviously, I want to talk about that a little bit real quick, but I am not a fan of Assassin's Creed. Those games are so generic and they're the same. I'm glad that they're finally doing this. They got rid of the 1-year game cycle and are releasing them every other year now to give each game more development time. I will say that I'm actually kind of interested in it because of the setting. Ancient Egypt just seems like that's one of the settings that from day one when I thought about what settings would I like for Assassin's Creed, that was top of my list. So the setting is going to be awesome, and it could be a really good game. We'll have to wait and see.
I love the Assassin's Creed series.
Yeah.
I even love the last one that came out. It's just, they're so
Same.
Yeah. The first one, Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed 1 was great. Then you have them start making the same ones every year. Assassin's Creed 3 was really good.
Yeah.
The setting was really good, and I think it's for them.
I love that. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that setting was great. And I love ancient Egypt stuff. That's one of my favorite.
Assassin's Creed 4 was really good too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Black Flag. I was thinking Unity. I totally forgot about Black Flag. Apparently, there's supposed to be ship stuff in that one too, like Black Flag. It's the same developers that made Black Flag. That's
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, it has a lot of potential. I hope that this time they do it right and they put the extra time and not just every year pump out another game that's exactly the same with a different setting. Really spice it up, because it's so repetitive that I just can't even. The only game I ever finished was 3, and the only reason I managed to finish it was because I was so intrigued by the setting of colonial America.
Yeah,
but other than that, that's all it had going for it.
They also have a protagonist problem. They can't keep one long enough, which is why I think the 2 through Revelations with Ezio did really well.
Yeah.
Because they kept continuity between the games, and then now they're just releasing crap.
Yeah.
Like you can't
pump them out. It's generic. Yeah.
You can't get attached to any of the characters and any of the villains. Or
I think they learned their lesson though, and that's why they're spending more time on these games. They finally listen to fans. So hopefully, this is going to be the deciding factor, because at this point, I think everyone's pretty much burned out by Assassin's Creed. So if this one can't, bring people back to the fold, I think they're done. So BioWare, age potentially.
Do you want BioWare? I don't know if I want to get into that, because apparently they said they canceled pretty much all support and DLC content for Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, yeah.
Which is sad. But what's messed up is they decided to do that before the game was even released, so that was already a decision EA made. But that development team, BioWare Montreal, is working on, or Edmonton has been building this new game.
Nice Old Republic.
Maybe. They're not saying. You would
think about it. Look, BioWare is owned by EA. EA has the rights to the Star Wars franchise, as far as that game development. So
that's a good point.
Time to put those two together.
But here's the problem. I don't want them to touch it unless they bring back the people, because all the people who made Knights of the Republic and Mass Effect have left BioWare.
True.
So you don't have the same creative minds behind it.
Yeah, but I just want a full remake of the original game with better graphics. Just do that.
I want something different. I want a Knights of the Old Republic game, maybe set further.
Man.
More closer towards prequels.
I hope that there's any kind of new Star Wars.
It was a Star Wars RPG that isn't an MMO that's really sucking money out of people.
But I would honestly, at the end of the day, I would just love a remake at this point.
A remastered Knights of the Republic?
Hell yeah. We talked to... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, my favorite is actually KOTOR 2.
Oh, yeah.
Lords? Yeah.
I always liked how that series kind of explored aspects with the Star Wars universe that they didn't really touch in the universe or in the movies.
Yeah.
Kind of the more gray questions of the Force.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great series, I really want them to continue that, and it makes perfect sense. They have BioWare, EA has the rights, like I said, to Star Wars. They need to make it happen,
It might be. I don't think that this is what they're working on, but I don't think that we're not going to hear an announcement for Knights of the Republic, though. I think it will be something later down the road.
Yeah, I'm going to be surprised if there's honestly several Star Wars games announced at E3.
Yeah. Here's the question.
They've got multiple studios working on different games, so
the game that the new sci-fi game they've announced, they've been working on since 2012. How long has EA had the Star Wars license?
About 2012, probably.
Maybe.
That's around the time that no, maybe not, because I think 2012 was around the time that Lucasfilm was sold to Disney. So I don't know if
that's why I don't
right, because they closed down LucasArts. And then the game development rights went to EA.
It's possible they could have been working on it before then.
Yeah, possible.
But they were working on it beforehand and then turned it into that MMO. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic MMO. I mean, they pushed that instead of making a new full-on RPG. Mm-hmm. So what we want is a new RPG and them to kill that MMO, because that MMO is garbage.
Yeah.
It's really bad, and it's kind of ruining the story of some of the stuff that's going on in there.
Yeah, like all the shady Revan stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I definitely expect to see, at least one, if not more, Star Wars games. I mean, obviously we got Battlefront, we got Visceral's game, possibly Respawn.
I think we will see Respawn and Visceral's teased. I think we'll see more of Visceral's game, but I think we'll see a short tease, or at least an announcement of a title for Respawn.
Remember, they did release like a image of what kind of the game would look like, as far as what they were, the target of what the gameplay would look like.
Wasn't that what the guy walking out of like the canteen and a TIE fighter flies over?
It looked amazing.
Yeah, that game. I want that game, not a 13 game. I want it set in not before, but I want it set in like Galactic Civil War era. Game like that.
What's up, Charlie? Eris, hi Eris. Charlie asks, what are your thoughts on the new Pokemon games? Bond, do you have any thought on that?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of excited that they've been announced. I mean, I like when Nintendo did like the Black 2 and Black and White 2, like when they do the kind of mid-generation sequels. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. And Charlie, we actually kind of talked a little bit about this earlier. We were saying that we were disappointed that they didn't announce, full-fledged Pokemon game for the Switch. So that would have been, what I would want at this point.
Pokemon Go for the Switch? Oh,
no, not Go, but like a full-fledged game. Oh. Okay, so we already kind of talked about, Bethesda. Bethesda actually released a poster a couple weeks back, and it said Bethesda Land, and it had, kind of like attractions based on some of their franchises. There were 2 sections of the park that were closed off, and it said like, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it basically, hinted that there were going to be 2 reveals at E3. Mm-hmm. So, many people think it's going to be either The Evil Within 2 or a new Wolfenstein game. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Maybe it might even be a completely new IP. Who knows?
I'd prefer a new Wolfenstein. That'd be nice.
And then lastly, CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077.
But I don't think we're going to see anything from that.
You don't think we're going to see that?
No, I don't think. I don't think they have enough. They just finished The Witcher 3, and I mean they're pretty decent sized development, but they literally put everyone on Witcher 3 and paused and like shelved Cyberpunk for a while. Yeah. I think if they do show anything, it might be maybe what is it? Storyboards, maybe something teasing that, but I don't think we're gonna get a trailer.
Kind of teaser, no.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get like a full trailer for it because I don't think it's far enough in development. And plus, they've already said that they wouldn't show up. So,
well, it looks cool. It definitely looks promising. Like I have to say, I'm more excited for the setting of that game, than I am say like The Witcher. Like I like medieval type settings and stuff, but like I'm definitely more into like sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, and personally, I think CD Projekt Red dethroned BioWare as the best, and Bethesda, for that matter, as the king of the RPGs. So
yeah,
I mean, and thoughts on Left 4 Dead?
Oh, Left 4 Dead.
There's supposed to be a rumored.
You think there'll be another?
I think that I've heard rumors about that.
I think that's one of those projects that's unfortunately never going to happen. I really would like to see it.
I mean,
I love Left 4 Dead. Who developed that? It was Turtle Rock, right?
Well, yeah, but now it's Valve, I do believe.
Okay.
Valve owns it.
I've always been surprised they never made another sequel because they had the first Left 4 Dead, and then it seems like the second one came out just like a few months later.
Yeah, it came out like a year or less later. Like it immediately came out, and those were both really good games and a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I would definitely love, because I will say this. I was talking to Dustin the other day kind of about this. Like, I feel like this generation, for some reason, we're not getting as many like co-op multiplayer games as we got last generation. I don't know why that is, but I want to see more co-op games because, at the end of the day, like I want to be able to play with my friends. And for some reason, it seems like the focus is starting to kind of go away from like the co-op games for some reason. And I would like to see more of that because there were a ton of really good co-op games for like, last gen for like PS3, Xbox, and for some reason this gen, I mean, there aren't many. I mean, Gears of War 4, but you don't have your like new Left 4 Deads or any of that. So that would be great. I really hope that they do announce Left 4 Dead 3.
I mean, it's more likely to see a Left 4 Dead 3 than a Half-Life 3, so I'll say that much.
Yeah, that's officially dead at this point. But
I mean, Valve has actually hinted at doing a Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah.
And, I mean, but Valve just doesn't release games very often anymore.
I always thought it was weird, like, the logo for Left 4 Dead, how it had, like, the first game has, like, the 4 fingers, right? Mm-hmm. And then Left 4 Dead 2 has the 2 fingers. And then, so, like, if they do Left 4 Dead 3, I would assume that it would be, like, 3 fingers. But then if they do 4, they've already done the 4 fingers, so I don't know.
It's going to be a stub or a thumb. There you go.
Yeah. But I think that's probably a good place to, go ahead and end this. Real quickly, though, I had one last question for you guys. And that's, I think, Dakota already kind of gave his away. But if there was one game I mean, just one dream game that you wish that they would announce at E3 this year. What would it be? Dustin, go.
Fallout New Vegas, developed by Obsidian, or not New Vegas, but Fallout New Orleans, which has been rumored a bit over the past couple of years. But
anything, just Fallout by Obsidian,
yeah,
all the way, yes.
Dakota.
It's Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
I want a new Knights of the Old Republic game. If I have to pick something other than that, I would like to see. You know what? I would like to see. Let's go. Actually, you know what?
No, you can't go back.
Yeah, I was gonna take probably what would be yours.
Take it back. No take backs, man.
Yeah, I don't want to take yours, which I probably know.
You guys have no idea what mine is. I guarantee you.
I was gonna say Twisted Metal.
Well, that was number 2 on my list.
Because I would love to see a new one of that.
So yeah, obviously, I want to see a new Twisted Metal on PS4. That would be fantastic. I don't think it's going to happen because the last one didn't sell too well, which is a tragedy. But I'll tell you what. You know, a game I want more than anything in the world, and people are going to be like, "Really?" Is another Warhawk.
Yeah,
Warhawk. Where the hell are you? Okay. Warhawk was the best multiplayer game of all time, in my opinion. I had oh my God. Okay, look. When that game came out, it came out in 2007, right? On the PS3. I had pre-ordered the game. When I went to go pick it up, they were like, they laughed at me because they were like, no one else pre-ordered this game. And so I took it home and look, I get bored of games quickly.
Hello, internet.
And so, what was that?
Sorry about that.
So I got it, when it first came out, right? And it was just an amazing game. I played it, unlike most games. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought now. I was like, what in the world was that? So when it came out, right? Like most games, I tend to get bored of really quickly. But Warhawk, I played that game from 2007 all the way up until I bought my PS4. And quite frequently, I regret not having a PS3 because I still want to jump online and play that game. I mean, I just absolutely love that game. I put more hours into that game than probably any game that I've ever played. I was always trying to get Bond to play it. I don't think Bond was really into it.
It was okay. I was just terrible at it.
Yeah. It was so good. And Starhawk, which was kind of like the pseudo sequel to it, was fantastic too, and also probably one of the most underrated games that I think was ever made. But if I could have any game at E3, I want Sony to finally announce some kind of, even if it's a freaking remake, I don't care. Even if it's the same damn game, just put it on PS4, so I can play it. But I want some kind of Warhawk 2 or Warhawk remaster or something. So,
I wouldn't mind seeing a new single-player Warhawk. I thought the PS1 game was pretty underrated.
Yeah, there was originally gonna be like a campaign with that game, but I don't know. There was it kind of went through development hell, I guess, and like they didn't like the campaign, so they cut it out and then just released it as like a multiplayer. But it was just so good. I mean, I compare all of their multiplayer games to that,
Yeah.
So
quickly cover this one. Little Nightmares, Leviathan. Amazing game. That game's amazing. That's like one of my favorite indie games right now.
Never played it.
Like, what?
No,
play it. It's a really good horror game.
Huh.
It's like creepy. It's like Tim Burton type. Not really? Tim Burton. I would say it's almost a mix between Tim Burton, like type of creepiness. But the fact is, he plays this little kid who's like running through like all these environments as a platformer. But like the things you encounter in the environment is just so kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, huh?
Like you might actually like it. It's it's almost like Limbo.
Huh? Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
But it's just.
Is it like a side scroller?
Yeah, it's a side scroller. Yeah. Like I don't know if Bond's played Limbo or not, but yeah. No, I think we're actually going to be seeing more of Little Nightmares at E3 too, because they have a couple of DLC announcements. So that's a good thing you brought that up, because I was going to bring that up myself.
Cool. Well, I think that's a good place to go ahead and end it there, guys. But I want to, thank you guys all for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next week. I'm not sure exactly what day we're going to do it. I think we're going to probably do it next weekend after E3, maybe like Friday or Saturday. But if you check the Geeksation Facebook page, we'll have an official date as to when we're going to do our next podcast. We're not going to be doing it on Thursday like we typically do. We want to wait for, all the E3 stuff to end, so that way we can kind of talk about everything that, happened at E3. So be sure to stay tuned next week for that. And, we'll talk all things E3. Until next time, guys, thanks a lot, and we'll see you then.